My beloved child, there is someone about to step into your life. Their appearance is not by chance, nor is it a mere coincidence. I have allowed this to happen in order to awaken your spirit, so that you may realize not everyone who comes near is the same. Listen carefully, for their presence carries within it a message, a lesson, and also an invitation for you to walk in awareness. I do not speak this to you so that you tremble in fear, but so that you may be prepared, so that your eyes may see more clearly, and so that you will not carelessly overlook the important thing that is being set before you. Remember this: there are encounters that come only once, and how you respond to them will shape the direction of a long journey ahead. My child, I know your heart longs for companions, true connections to uphold you along the way. I know you desire to meet sincere souls, friends who truly know how to love and to honor, but I also want you to understand that in this world not everyone who draws near carries a pure heart. The one who is about to enter your life may appear sincere, may come with sweet words, may make you feel as though they bring care and companionship. Yet I, the one who searches hearts, see the hidden motives deep within. And because I love you, I will not let you stumble blindly in the dark. I speak beforehand that you may have the light to see. Do not misunderstand my words, dear one. This person is not necessarily utterly wicked, nor are they an imminent danger that should throw you into panic. They are simply human, a mixture of personal desires and a measure of sincerity. Yet it is precisely this mixture that calls for your awareness. For when things are not clearly discerned, your heart is easily drawn into what is vague, quick to trust, too soon, quick to open doors not yet meant to be opened. And what I long for you to learn is this: how to walk in love yet remain discerning, how to open your heart yet also keep healthy boundaries, how to receive but not give away all until the time I have appointed. Think of this reminder as a map, not a chain. A map does not terrify the traveler, but gives them the advantage of knowing where there are sharp turns, where there are steep slopes requiring caution, and where the road is smooth enough to walk with greater ease. In the same way I speak, so that you may have the advantage of foresight, that you may not stumble from lack of preparation. If I were silent, you could easily stray. But because I love you, I open your eyes so you may see. Like a soldier trained before going into battle, you are no longer naive, yet neither are you afraid. You are equipped to walk with steadiness. You may ask yourself, if he already knew that person carried impure motives, why did he not stop them from the beginning? Why did he allow them to come near me? Hear me, my child. Not every permission is meant to harm you. Some things I allow because they are meant as training. You cannot learn discernment from theory. You must learn it through reality. It is in this very encounter that your ears will be trained to distinguish between words of sincerity and words of disguise. Your eyes will be opened to see the difference between appearance and essence. I do not remove you from every situation, for then you would remain immature. I allow you to face them, but I also stand beside you so that you may grow in wisdom without being harmed. What I want you to understand is this: being watchful does not mean being suspicious. I am not teaching you to doubt everyone. I am not teaching you to close your heart and live in fear. On the contrary, I want you to continue loving, but to love with your eyes open. Love is not blind. True love sees clearly and still chooses to do what is good. Watchfulness is the same. It does not build a wall, but it lights a lamp. When light shines, you need not argue, nor do you need to panic. You simply look and you will see. My child, I know that at times you strain yourself trying to prove that you are strong enough. You think that if you appear tough, no one can hurt you. But I tell you, you do not have to live that way. You can honestly admit that you need protection, that you need guidance, that you need the divine eyes to show you the way. It is precisely in that weakness that true strength is revealed. You do not have to discern everything by yourself, for I am the one who knows all things, and I will whisper to your heart when it is needed. What I desire from you is not perfection, but honesty and trust. Remember, my presence is always with you. Someone may come with sweet words, they may leave you feeling unsettled, but you are never alone. I am beside you. I set an invisible boundary that no one can cross unless I allow it. That is why you can rest in peace. As Psalm 2:7-1 declares, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?" If you hold fast to this word, you will know that no presence can shake you so long as you cling to me. So then, my child, do not be afraid. Someone may step into your life, and their presence is not a trap nor an accident meant to destroy. It is an opportunity for you to learn the lesson of watchfulness. This is training, this is grace, this is preparation for you. Open your eyes, listen closely, and be confident that I walk with you. When that person comes near, you will know how to stand firm because you have already been forewarned, already been prepared, and already been sheltered in my love. My child, understand this. The words I speak are never sent to weigh heavily upon your shoulders as a burden of worry, but rather to lift that burden through clarity. The one who is about to appear is not coming to bring you down, but so that you may learn how to walk in the light of wisdom. I warn you not to instill trembling in your heart, but to grant you the advantage of preparation. When you know beforehand, you can walk with firmness. When you are forewarned, you are no longer the victim of surprise, but the one who acts with intention in every circumstance. This is the grace I bestow upon you, for I am not the one who hides things from those who love me. I reveal them ahead of time so that you will not fall into snares, nor be deceived by appearances. Remember, this darkness can only intimidate those who have no light, but when a lamp is lit, the darkness loses its power. The warning I give you today is precisely that lamp. It does not frighten you, but helps you see clearly. It does not compel you to lock every door, but guides you to open the right door at the right time for the right person. The world may tell you that to be watchful is to be closed off, but I tell you that to be watchful is to walk in discernment, neither naive nor blind, but also not rigid or cold. It is within this balance that you will discover peace. I know the desires that lie within your heart, desires that are good and rightful. You long for companionship, for someone to share with, for someone who truly listens and uplifts you. This is not wrong, for I myself created you with the need for connection. But I also see the danger when you hope too much without discernment. The one approaching you may fulfill part of those longings, and that may cause you to open your heart easily. Yet, my child, not everything that brings initial comfort will lead to lasting good. Some things taste sweet for a moment, but leave a bitter aftertaste. Some words may sound gentle, but lack honesty within. That is why I want you to be alert to distinguish, not to be carried away by appearances, but to see all the way down to the root. Consider this meeting as a practical lesson. You have heard that discernment is important, but now I am giving you an experience so that the lesson may come alive. This person will arrive, and when they speak, you will feel something stir within you. In that moment, I want you to pause. Do not hastily respond with emotion, but listen for the whisper in your spirit. The unease or the peace within your heart will be the sign I send. You do not need to explain everything by reason. Sometimes it is that deep inner sense that serves as your compass, and when you learn to heed that sign, you are learning the art of walking with me in wisdom. You may wonder why I choose to teach through other people, but my child, maturity never comes from merely reading fine words or noble thoughts. It comes from real experience. A child does not learn to walk by hearing theories, but by standing up, taking steps, falling down, and rising again. In the same way, your discernment will not grow if you remain only within a safe zone. You must be challenged so that your spiritual eyes may sharpen and your heart may learn when to open and when to close. This is not punishment, but training. I love you too much to let you remain forever naive before the complexity of human hearts. Do not confuse preparation with suspicion. I am not telling you to doubt everyone who comes into your life. I want you to discern each person with clear eyes. Not everyone who smiles at you does so out of love, and not everyone who is stern with you is your enemy. Only my Spirit can show you what is true and what is false, what is genuine encouragement and what is flattery. If you learn to listen to Him, you will never be deceived for long. Someone may conceal their intentions for a time, but light will reveal and you will see. What matters is that you do not respond out of fear. I never want you to live in trembling. I want you to be confident because I am with you. Like a soldier wearing armor, you can face the arrows without fear, knowing they cannot pierce the protection. Likewise, when you anchor yourself in me, you can face whoever approaches without fearing harm. You will not close yourself off, but neither will you be careless. You will walk in freedom, yet also in wisdom. Remember this: no one can touch what I have placed in you unless you willingly give it away. Blessings, gifts, and calling all are sealed by me. Someone may try to reach them, may seek to bind themselves to. You may hope to exploit what you have, but no one can steal what I have reserved for you. That is why you need not fear loss. You only need wisdom to guard, to set proper boundaries, and to avoid exposing your treasure in unworthy places. The more you keep discernment, the more you safeguard what I have entrusted to you. My child, see this encounter as a training from me. I have allowed it to happen because I desire to lift you to a new height of maturity. Every season in life requires preparation, and this is preparation for the next one. I want you to know that not every handshake is trustworthy, and not every compliment is harmless. Yet you need not be unsettled, for I will reveal it to you. When you keep your heart tender and your ears attentive, you will discern what is true. And in that moment you will walk with a new confidence, no longer afraid, no longer naive, yet never losing love. Therefore, my child, when I give you a warning, do not see it as a burden, see it as a gift. When I speak beforehand, you are given the advantage of not being caught off guard. When I point something out, you are given light so that you will not stumble. And as you walk in that light, you will realize that no darkness can ever cover you. That person will come, but you will stand firm, for you have been prepared, forewarned, and covered in my love. My beloved child, I want you to engrave this certainty upon your heart: you never walk alone. Do not let any voice within convince you that you have been abandoned, or that you must bear everything by yourself. Even when that person draws near, even when you have not yet fully understood their intent, my presence surrounds you like an unshakable fortress. I go before you to clear the way, I walk behind you to protect. I stand beside you to uphold, and I dwell within you as your source of strength. Every step you take rests in my providence, and no force can cross the boundary I have set around your life. When you see that person entering your life, do not think that you must quickly find an answer or immediately decide who they are and what role they will play. Instead, learn to listen to my guidance in stillness. I will stir your spirit. At times it will be a gentle peace flowing and signaling that you may open your heart. At other times it will be a deep unease, like a ringing alarm reminding you to keep your distance. Both are my voice. Pay attention and do not ignore them, for I never leave you lost in uncertainty. I speak through small but powerful signals, and if you remain sensitive, you will recognize them at once. Do not be afraid of making mistakes, for even when you are slow to listen, I remain faithful to remind and correct you. I do not demand perfection from you. I only long for a heart that is turned toward me. When you listen, I will open your eyes. When you seek, I will reveal myself. When you call out, I will answer. Be assured that every situation, even those that leave you confused, is an opportunity for you to see just how near I am. It is in those uncertain moments that I will prove myself to you as the faithful guide. Remember, my child, my presence is not merely a concept, but a living reality. When you stand before that person, you do not only carry advice stored in memory, you are surrounded by a living source of strength. I am there in every breath, in every thought, in every decision. My light will expose and dissolve every hidden scheme that is not pure. My peace will be the cloak that covers your soul, so that no matter what is spoken against you, you will not be shaken. My power will be the strength that keeps you from falling into traps, no matter how subtle they may be. As it is written in John 1:4-7, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives." Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. This is the promise I want you to hold on to as you step into this encounter. Do not let the experiences of the past cause you to tremble in the present. Perhaps you were once wounded by those you trusted. Perhaps you opened your heart too quickly and paid the price with deep scars. But I declare to you, the past does not define the present, nor does it steal your future. I turn every mistake into a lesson and every wound into a wellspring of strength. Now, as you face the one who is about to appear, you are no longer the fragile version of yourself from before. You have grown and you have me walking with you. Therefore, do not fear that history will repeat itself. I make all things new, and I will use this very meeting to renew your faith and your wisdom. What I want you to hold firmly to is the spiritual authority that I have placed within you. You do not walk as one who is weak, passively waiting for others to decide on your behalf. You have authority to say yes when I declare that something is good, and to say no when I warn that it is dangerous. You have authority to guard your heart, to protect your peace, and to withhold spiritual treasures from those who are unworthy of them. And this authority does not come from your own effort, but from my very presence within you. When you are aware of this, you will no longer tremble before anyone. My child, take this warning as a shield. A shield is not meant for you to shrink back and hide, but to give you confidence to step forward. A soldier who carries a shield does not remain hidden forever in the dark corner, but is ready to advance knowing he is protected. In the same way, you need not close yourself off, but you may open your heart in safety. You do not have to mistrust everyone, but you may walk with discernment. As long as your heart remains bound to me, every lie will dissolve before you, and every corrupt scheme will collapse in the light. Therefore, my child, when that person appears, walk in peace. Remember that you are not alone, and my presence is your guarantee. I am your fortress, your refuge, the strength that keeps you steadfast. You may smile, you may listen, you may act with grace, but deep within you know that you are covered. That person may bring testing, but I will turn testing into lessons. They may confuse you for a moment, but I will turn confusion into clarity. In the end, it is you who will stand firm, while every scheme not from me will fall away like dry leaves before the wind. And when you look back, you will see clearly that I was never absent. The warning I gave did not leave you shaken, but made you stronger. That person came, yet you were not moved because you had me. Peace remained. Faith stood firm, and you continued your journey with new maturity. This is what I have ordained, to turn every circumstance, great or small, into an opportunity for you to see me as near faithful and powerful. You belong to me, and I will always be the unbreakable protection over your life. My child, now I want to speak more plainly about the one who will come near you. They will not enter with a fierce appearance, nor with harsh words. Instead, they will come gently, with a smile, with eyes that seem full of goodwill. You will hear them speak pleasant words, telling stories that make you feel understood. They may present themselves as someone who cares for you, who wishes to share life with you. At times, you may even marvel at how quickly a stranger can create such a sense of closeness. But my child, I declare to you that within these seemingly ordinary things lies the very reason you must stay alert. I did not tell you that this person came to destroy, but I spoke so that you may know outward goodwill has never been sufficient proof of the heart within. I am the one who searches every thought and every motive. You only hear the words they speak, but I hear the whispers within their minds. You only see the actions they display, but I see what they nurture in their thoughts. That is why I speak, to keep your eyes from resting only on the surface, and to teach you to look deeper. True wisdom is not judging someone by appearances, but learning how to discern by the inner signs, those things you can only perceive through the light of the Spirit. Imagine this. There are rivers that from a distance appear smooth as glass, yet beneath the surface are powerful currents that can sweep away the inexperienced. In the same way, there are people who at first encounter seem peaceful, calm, and good, yet beneath other currents flow. This does not mean you must fear all people, but it is a reminder, not everything that looks tranquil is safe. When this person draws near, it will be like that. They may carry a gentle appearance, but you must keep your heart awake so as not to be carried away by what is only on the surface. I know how easily you are moved by sincere expressions. You long for someone who listens, someone who understands, someone willing to walk with you. And this person may well use that very longing to draw closer. They may sit with you and ask about your journey. They may show sympathy for what you have endured. But I tell you, do not hastily give away the treasures of your heart. Not everyone who asks deserves to hear. Not everyone who shows care truly carries love within. Some people listen not to share your burden, but to find ways to use what you reveal. That is why I command you to stay watchful. To be watchful is not to shut your heart, but to keep the treasure in its rightful place. Let me be the one who holds the key with you. When I stir your heart saying this should not be spoken, yet obey. When I whisper, keep this for yourself, do not dismiss it. For not every sharing lightens the load. Some openings can become paths for exploitation. The wiser you are in how you disclose, the safer you will be kept. And when this person comes near, what matters most is not what they say, but what my spirit speaks within your heart as you listen. They will not come like a storm, but like a gentle breeze. That is why the danger does not lie in violence, but in subtlety. Most of the things that cause you to stumble do not arrive with loud noise, but with skill and finesse, making you easily careless. Yet, my child, I say this to you, if you remain close to me, you will not be deceived. You will hear my clear reminder the moment they speak. You will sense a small, yet distinct unease within your soul, and that will be the sign for you to know that not everything is as it seems. My child, do not be afraid when I tell you that they will come with the appearance of goodwill. This is not a threat, but a preparation. When you are forewarned, you will no longer be easily caught off guard. Instead of hastily trusting, you will pause and listen. Instead of quickly opening the door wide, you will place your hand in mine and ask, Lord, what do you want me to do? This posture will keep you safe. It will also train you not only to discern in a single encounter, but throughout your journey ahead. Remember this, my child, their coming is not an accident, but a permission within my greater plan. I do not allow anything to happen without purpose. Their appearance will be an opportunity for you to learn discernment, to practice the vigilance I spoke of before. This is not a dark chapter in your life, but a lesson of illumination. When you pass through it, you will not only know more about others, but also about yourself, your limits, your values, and the way I lead you. Therefore, my child, when they smile and speak sweet words, remember that truth is not found only on the lips. Look at the fruit of their life. Pay attention to the peace or unease within your heart when you are near them. Do not let appearances blind you, but let my light shine upon all things. For when you walk in this awareness, you will not be swept away, but will stand firm, and you will see clearly that I have prepared you for this very moment. My child, I want you to understand more deeply what lies within them. Their motives are not always revealed in their face or words. They may show you gestures of care, but not all of it springs from pure love. Within them exists a mixture, a desire to be close, yet also a longing to benefit from what they see in you. They may not even be fully aware of this, but I search every corner of the heart, and I tell you beforehand, so that you will not be surprised when the truth gradually unfolds. That person may be drawn to the light I have placed within you. That light is blessing peace and life that I have given. When others see that light, some will come to join in praising me, to be enlightened together. Yet others may come only seeking to benefit themselves, trying to fill the emptiness inside by leaning on you. I do not want you to close your heart to them, but neither do I want you to give away all that is precious without discernment. You must learn how to love without being exploited, how to give without being swept away. And this can only happen when you listen carefully to my guidance in every interaction. My child, I know you often judge people by appearances. That is natural in humankind. When you see friendly gestures, you assume they come from sincerity. When you hear words of praise, you think they are born of love. But I declare to you, the true worth of a person does not lie in what they say, but in the motives that drive them. And those motives only I can see clearly. You need to remember this one thing: not everyone who comes near the light does so to honor it. Some come only to dim it. This is not necessarily pure malice, but rather the weakness of a heart that has not yet been transformed. Without walking in truth, people are easily swept along by selfishness, envy, and the pursuit of their own gain. It is this very weakness that has drawn that person toward you. Imagine a fertile piece of land. It yields abundant fruit, and so people around it are drawn to step upon it. Some come to plant, to tend, to nurture and cultivate. But others come only to pick, to take, to use, without any thought of preserving it. My child, your life is like that land. I have sown, I have watered, and now blessings have sprung forth. That person sees the fruit and feels the desire to partake. That desire is not always wholly evil, but without purity, it may lead them to cling to you without truly contributing to your journey. This is why I warn you, so that you may discern between those who come to cultivate and those who come only to take. The important thing, my child, is that you keep your heart tender but not naive. I do not want you to look upon that person with eyes of hatred, but neither do I want you to see them through rose-colored lenses. I want you to see the truth clearly. They come with both genuine desires and selfish motives. When you recognize this mixture, you will neither be shocked nor disillusioned. You will simply understand that they are human, and humanity carries its limits. You will not blame them, but neither will you surrender yourself to blind trust. You can still act with grace, yet within your heart you set firm boundaries. My child, I have heard every whisper in their thoughts. They have spoken within themselves, asking what benefits they might gain if they draw near to you, what kind of support they might find. I do not reveal this to you so that you might despise them, but so that you may guard your wisdom. Remember this: the enemy rejoices when you expose your treasure to someone who is not yet ready to receive it. Do not give away secrets. Do not share too hastily. Allow me to show you each step. When you listen in silence, I will tell you when to speak and when to withhold. That person may try to draw you into speaking much, but you must learn the art of restraint, for in that very silence you are protected. Mixed motives do not mean that you must close your heart. It only means that you must establish healthy boundaries. You may smile, you may converse, but you do not let wisdom slip away from you. You may show care, yet you do not permit them to touch the depths of your being until I grant permission. You may love, but your love must be guided by discernment, not by fleeting emotion. This is how I teach you to walk in balance, not rigid, yet not naive, not distrustful, yet never without discernment. Therefore, my child, do not let outward appearances blind you, nor allow initial charm to drive you to open your heart too quickly. Remember that their motives are mixed, and such a mixture can bring both empathy and challenge. But I declare this: if you remain under my guidance, you will not be harmed. On the contrary, their very presence will become a classroom in which your discernment is sharpened. And when you have overcome, you will step into a new season of maturity, one in which your ability to distinguish truth will be clearer than ever before. My child, be assured of this: nothing can be hidden from my sight. Before a single word escapes a person's lips, I have already heard the whisper within their heart. Before a thought takes form in the mind, I have searched the deepest place where it was conceived. You can only see appearances and make judgments based on actions, but I am the one who perceives all the way to the core. I know every unspoken thought. I hear every private conversation that no one else can hear. I do not say this to make you suspicious of every gesture or word, but to assure you that you will never be caught unaware. What may ensnare others I have already uncovered before you. A person may quietly discuss how they intend to approach you. They may calculate within themselves what benefit they might gain from being close to you. Yet, my child, no plan escapes my observation. Every scheme uttered in the dark is exposed by my light. You need not fear being deceived suddenly or by surprise, for I always go before you. What they consider cleverness is to me no more than a speck of dust. What they imagine to be hidden to me stands in full clarity. And when I reveal it to you, that truth becomes armor to protect you. Remember, my child, I do not reveal these things so that you may despise or hate them. Hatred is not your portion, but discernment is what you must keep. I let you know in advance so that when they come near, you are no longer naive nor quick to give away your trust. You may receive them with grace, yet keep your clarity. You may smile, but you will not be misled by their smile. You may listen, yet within your heart you will know that not every word carries truth. This is discernment, to keep your heart in love, but never let love become blind. I know there are moments you wonder, how can I recognize their true motives when everything outward is so carefully concealed? Hear me now. You do not need to exhaust yourself by dissecting every word or analyzing every gesture, for that will only drain you. You need only listen to the gentle voice of my spirit within your soul. When they speak, I will stir something inside you. If their words come from sincerity, you will feel peace. But if their words are but a mask, you will sense unease as though something is out of harmony. That is the signal I give. Do not ignore it. Do not dismiss it as mere imagination. Believe that I am using that very discernment to keep you from falling into a snare. That person may not be fully aware of what they are doing. They may not think that greed or selfish desire is guiding their steps. Yet I declare to you, whether they realize it or not, you must remain watchful. For not everyone who draws near has been sent by me. Some are sent to bless, some are permitted to come as a test, and still others are driven by selfish ambition. The difference between them is not always immediately clear, but I assure you, I will not let you walk in confusion. I will guide you step by step as long as you stay close to me. My child, what I reveal to you today is proof of my love for you. I do not want you to stumble and fall before you learn the lesson. I want you to grow through preparation. That is why I make known to you the motives of that person before they even approach. Like a father teaching his child, I hide nothing that could harm you. I warn you not to instill fear, but to make you stronger. No one will ever catch you off guard, for you have already been prepared. No word will ever confuse you, for you have already been enlightened. And no scheme will succeed against you, for I have gone before you to warn you. Be assured that I will be with you in every step. When that person speaks, you are not alone in hearing them. When they try to draw near, you are not left to face them on your own. I am right beside you. I whisper into your spirit. I give you light to see what cannot be seen with natural eyes. This is the advantage you have. An advantage the world does not know, revelation from me. And it is this very revelation that will guard you from deception. Let these words comfort you. You do not need to fear their presence. They may bring pleasant words, but I will show you when it is only a mask. They may appear with goodwill, but I will help you discern what is true and what is false. And as you walk in this light, you will not be shaken. On the contrary, you will grow stronger, wiser, and more mature. Be fully convinced. My instruction today is the key that will keep you standing firm tomorrow. My child, when I warn you about their coming, it is not my intention to plant resentment in your heart or to make you closed off. I do not speak so that you would see them as enemies, nor so that you would hold them in contempt. Hatred is not the inheritance I give you. From the very beginning I have called you to walk in love, because love itself reveals that you belong to me. Yet this love is not blind, ignoring all dangers, nor is it weak, allowing others to exploit you. The love I teach you is a wise love, a love that discerns, a love that stays open yet has boundaries of protection. That is why I warn you, so that you may love without being deceived, give without being swept away, and discern what is truly from me and what you must guard against. Remember, my child, that person too is a human being with weaknesses, limitations, and untransformed desires. They may not fully understand the motives within their own heart, and they too may be struggling with selfishness, craving, or fear. When I show you the mixture within them, I do not command you to despise them, but I teach you to see them with the eyes of truth. Hatred closes your heart, but discernment keeps your freedom. If you let resentment take root in your heart, you will become like them in their weakness. But if you keep your heart in love, you will become like me, the one who loves yet remains just the one who opens his arms, yet still discerns what is right. My child, understand that love does not mean you must accept everything. Many mistake love for never setting limits, believing that love is to give unconditionally, even when it brings harm to oneself. But true love is not like that. True love knows how to protect. True love does not open the door to what can cause harm. True love sets boundaries to preserve purity. I have given you my own example. I love humanity, but I also decree that evil cannot enter my kingdom. I grant forgiveness, yet I also require repentance and change. In the same way, when you love others, you must learn to keep boundaries so that the love you give does not become a doorway for exploitation. See that person as a test of wise love. You can treat them with kindness without contempt, without bitterness, yet at the same time, hold on to clarity. You may converse with them, but you need not reveal everything. You may receive them as a companion in a moment, but you need not bind yourself to commitments beyond what I permit. This is how love and discernment walk together. Without love, you become rigid and cold. Without discernment, you become easily wounded and lose direction. But when the two are woven together, you will walk in peace and steadfastness. My child, I know that sometimes you fear that setting boundaries will make you appear lacking in love. But I say to you, boundaries are proof of true love. When you set boundaries, you not only protect yourself, but also protect the other from stepping into what they should not. If you allow them to freely touch what I entrusted you to guard, you not only harm yourself, but also lead them into what does not belong to them. True love does not encourage distortion. True love shows the right path so that both may be lifted up. That is why I warn you not to make you withdraw, but to help you love with wisdom. My child, remember my words. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Proverbs 4:2-3. Guarding your heart is not an act of suspicion, but an act of faithfulness to what I have placed within you. Your heart is a treasure, and from it flows life, wisdom, and light. If you allow your heart to be wounded through carelessness, that very life will be affected. Therefore, regard the setting of boundaries and the keeping of your heart as both an act of love toward yourself and an act of obedience to me. So then, my child, walk in this understanding. My warnings are never given to stir up hatred. They are given to equip you, so that you may love with purity and wisdom. You do not need to push others away with coldness, nor must you embrace everyone with naivety. Walk instead in love that is illuminated by truth. And as you do this, you will see that even the presence of that person will no longer be a threat, but rather an opportunity to demonstrate that love and discernment can coexist, work in harmony, and make you stronger. My child, I desire that you clearly understand both the distinction and the intimate connection between love and discernment. The love I give you is not blind love that is given so unconditionally that you lose yourself. Neither is the discernment I teach you a cold harshness that isolates you and causes you to distrust everyone. When these two are separated, each can easily lead you astray from the path of peace. But when they are held together, they become wings that lift you higher, enabling you to rise above every snare and to remain in my light. Love without discernment can cause you to open your heart to anyone, to trust without consideration, and eventually to allow others to touch the innermost places you were meant to guard. Such love, instead of bringing life, becomes a doorway to harm. You may think you are loving rightly, but if that love has no protective boundary, it will drain you, rob you of peace, and even draw you away from the purpose I have ordained for you. This is not my desire for you. On the other hand, discernment without love can turn you into someone closed off. You may see everyone with suspicion and set boundaries so thick that no one can come near. You might believe this keeps you safe, but in truth, it is only a prison you have built for yourself. For I have not called you to live in fear, but in freedom. I do not desire for you to run from relationships, but for you to step into them with clarity and wisdom. If you only know discernment without love, your heart will grow dry, and the light within you will cease to flow out to illuminate others. My child, look to the example of the Savior. He loved everyone, even those who betrayed him, yet his love was never a partnership with sin. He opened his arms wide, but he also knew when to remain silent, when to keep things hidden, and when to step away. He still loved Judas, but he did not entrust to him treasures that did not belong to him. He gave him the chance to repent, but he did not allow him to destroy the plan of the Father. In his life, love and discernment walked hand in hand, and he is the model for you to follow. Therefore, my child, when that person draws near, I want you to learn how to love with purity, but also with wisdom. You may greet them with a smile, but within your heart you need not pour out everything at once. You may listen, but you need not believe everything immediately. You may show care, but you must not allow emotion to govern your decisions. This is not pretense, it is maturity. You are not pretending to love, you truly love, but your love is not blind. It has the safeguard of discernment. Do not think that setting boundaries means a lack of love. Boundaries are proof that you love rightly. When you say no to what can cause harm, it is a way of protecting both yourself and the other. When you know how to pause and not give away too much too soon, it is how you preserve the purity of love. A river cannot flow in the right direction without its banks. Love is the same, it needs discernment to guide it, so that it does not overflow without purpose and turn into a flood. On the other hand, do not think that discernment is bitter suspicion. Discernment that comes from the Spirit always carries peace. It does not make you anxious, but makes you wise. It does not drive you away from people, but helps you know who should be welcomed in and who should remain outside. Discernment does not make you lonely, but helps you choose the right companions. When you have discernment, you will not be entangled in harmful relationships. You will guard your time, your strength, and your peace for the things that truly come from me, and that is freedom. My child, let love and discernment work together within you. When you love in truth. When you discern with love. Do not let one overshadow the other, for love without truth is mere emotion, and truth without love is only rigidity. I want you to walk in the perfect union of both, so that you may be a blessing to others while also being protected in your own journey. So, my child, do not hesitate when it comes to keeping boundaries, and do not be afraid that doing so will cost you love. Do not worry that when you discern, others will think you lack compassion. Remember this, you do not live to please people, you live to obey me. When you follow me, you will always walk in the right direction, and the love you give will become a love that heals, not a love that leaves you wounded. And when that person appears, you will know how to open your heart while still guarding yourself, how to show grace while still setting limits. This will be the proof that love and discernment can coexist, and when they do, they will bring you a peace that nothing can take away. My child, I want you to understand the weight of the choice in how you receive that person. If you open your heart too quickly without wisdom, you may unknowingly allow them to sow within you seeds that are not from me. At first, those seeds may look harmless, like advice-friendly sharing or fresh ideas. But over time, they can grow into sprouts of confusion, crowding out the peace I have placed within you. You may begin to doubt what I have spoken or hesitate in steps you were meant to take with boldness. This is exactly how the enemy often works. It does not take everything from you at once, but it plants a little doubt, a little distraction, until gradually you are pulled away from the path I have set. Remember the Garden of Eden. The serpent did not come with sword and spear, but with a question that seemed harmless, yet it planted doubt in Eve's heart. Did God really say that? That very lack of discernment in a single moment opened the door to downfall. In the same way, if you are not careful in wisdom, that person may sow words that leave you unsettled. Are you really sure you're going the right way? Do you think perhaps there's an easier path? At first, it may seem only like a well-meaning suggestion, but if you allow those words to take root, you will find your faith shaken and your peace slowly slipping away. I do not want this to happen to you. That is why I warn you beforehand. But my child, do not be afraid, for in these very situations I will give you discernment. If you keep your heart awake and remain close to me, you will not be swayed by those words. When that person plants a thought that is not from me, the Spirit will stir within you, and you will feel a sense of unease. You will hear a quiet whisper inside. This is not right. That is my warning. If you obey that voice, you will stop the false seed at the start before it has a chance to take root. And when you do this, you will preserve your peace, letting no one take it away from you. My child, remember that peace is one of the clearest signs by which you may discern what comes from me. When you encounter a person whose presence brings you calm, strengthens your faith, and encourages you to draw nearer to me, it is a sign that they carry goodness within them. But if their presence leaves you confused, makes you doubt what I have placed in your heart, or burdens you with heaviness, then it is a sign that you must be cautious. Do not ignore that inner stirring, for it is my voice. I give you discernment not so that you become suspicious, but so that you may guard the treasure I have placed within you. If you lack wisdom and allow that person's influence to reach too deeply, disorder will creep into your life. You may find yourself questioning what you once held with certainty or feeling weary in your walk of faith. Yet I remind you, I do not leave you alone in such moments. I do not let you endure turmoil without a way out. It is your watchfulness and your closeness to me that will form a wall of protection. If you remain in prayer in my word, you will continually be reminded of the truth. Then any word that does not align with that truth will instantly lose its power over you. My child, take my words today as a key. This key opens the way for you to love without fear, to receive without being controlled. If you walk in wisdom, another person may step into your life, but they will not be able to sow seeds of confusion. On the contrary, your watchfulness may become a light that compels them to confront their own hearts. You need not argue, you need not prove yourself, only stand firm in the truth. That steadfastness will be a testimony stronger than any words. Therefore, my child, do not tremble at the thought that someone may plant seeds of doubt within you. That can only happen if you turn your eyes away from me. But if you keep your gaze fixed on me, if you remain rooted in prayer, you will stand firm. They may speak, they may try to influence, but every word will fade before the truth I have sown in you. You will be like a tree planted by streams of water. Though the winds blow, you will not be shaken, for your roots are anchored in the source of life. Your peace will not be stolen, and your wisdom will continue to grow. My child, I want to declare to you an important principle that many often overlook. Timely silence is strength, not weakness. In life, there are moments when you think you must speak much in order to be heard, to prove yourself right, or to assert your position. But I say to you, not everything in your heart needs to be laid bare, and not every answer must be spoken immediately. There are times when restraint in speech becomes the strongest shield to keep you safe from intentions that are not pure. There may be one who draws near, seeking to stir within you hidden confessions. They may ask questions that seem harmless, but their purpose is not to uplift you, rather to know more than they should. They may show sympathy so that you feel safe in sharing, but in truth, every word you release can become a doorway through which they step deeper into your life without my permission. This is why I instruct you, learn to discern what must be guarded and what may be spoken. Not every truth needs to be exposed before all people. A precious jewel placed in the marketplace will be trampled, but held securely in the hand of a wise keeper. It will shine at the right time and in the right place. My child, understand that silence is not the rejection of love, but the way you preserve true love. When you guard what is entrusted to you, you are keeping safe the treasure I have placed in your care. I do not call you to be closed off, never speaking, but I teach you the art of moderation. Every word you utter is like a seed sown into the soil. If you plant it in good ground, it will flourish and bear fruit. But if you scatter it into barren earth, it will be trampled, or worse, it may be turned against you. Therefore, let your words be guided by wisdom, not by fleeting emotions. You may think that silence will cause you to lose the chance to explain yourself or to be understood by others. But I declare to you, silence at the right moment holds a power greater than 1,000 words. For when you remain silent, you are allowing me to speak on your behalf. When you restrain your words, you give the Holy Spirit room to place the exact words upon your lips when they are truly needed. When you are not quick to speak, you open a space for me to reveal wisdom that surpasses your own understanding. It is within that silence that you will witness my power at work, and you will be kept from many pitfalls. Someone may attempt to probe you or use friendliness to make you believe that sharing everything is necessary. But I tell you, not every form of friendliness is safe. You may still be polite, still be kind, still respond with grace, but you are not required to disclose everything. Keep for yourself a sacred space that belongs only to me, a place no one may enter without my permission. This is how you guard your heart from exploitation. This is also how you demonstrate that your love is not naive, but mature and discerning. My child, remember my word. In quietness and trust shall be your strength. Isaiah 3:0-15. I say this so that you may know true strength does not come from speaking much, but from resting in silence as you trust in me. The world often sees silence as weakness, but in my kingdom, silence at the right time is evidence of wisdom. It shows that you know where to place your trust. You do not need to justify yourself before everyone, for I am the one who justifies you. You do not need to rush to speak in order to preserve your honor, for I myself will guard your honor. My child, practice the discipline of restraint in speech as a spiritual art. Before you speak, ask me, Lord, do you want me to say this? Before you share something deep, listen. Does the Holy Spirit give me peace to speak this? If you sense unease, that is the sign to hold it back. If you sense peace, that is the moment to share. When you live this way, Your words will carry power, not because they come from haste, but because they are born from guidance. Believe that the silence guided by me will never harm you. On the contrary, it will keep you safe and help you become a person of credibility. Others will see that when you speak, your words are trustworthy because you do not waste them carelessly. They will recognize that there is something different about you, that your words are not empty sounds but rare pearls of great worth. And this is the evidence that you belong to me, the one who gives you wisdom and strength. Therefore, my child, embrace the art of silence as a spiritual weapon. Do not fear that it will make you weak or distant. In truth, it will draw you closer to me and keep you more secure. Someone may approach you with questions with smiles, yet your restraint in speech will leave them no room to take advantage of you. You will treat them with grace, yet still preserve your freedom. You will walk in love, but that love will be guarded by wisdom. And in the end, you will see that timely silence is itself the proof of true strength, a strength that comes from placing your trust in me, not in your own words. My child, I want you to learn another deep principle. Not everything I place in your heart is meant to be released all at once or to just anyone. There are treasures entrusted to you that are meant first to nourish your own soul. There are promises and revelations that should remain hidden in prayer until the right season when I permit you to declare them. And there are things I give you that should only be shared with a select few whom I have chosen to support and walk alongside you. If you expose everything before those who cannot receive it, you will see the sacred treated with contempt, and you yourself will be wounded. When someone draws near you, may feel inclined to share too soon. They may ask about what I am doing in your life, and they may appear genuinely interested. You might think that speaking out will help you feel accompanied, but, my child, be careful. Not everyone who shows interest truly desires to walk with you. Some are curious to know but not to support. Some listen only to find opportunity to exploit. This is why I instruct you, let the Holy Spirit guide every word you speak. Before opening your mouth, ask, Lord, should I say this? If you sense peace, you may speak. If you feel unrest in your spirit, hold it back, for that unease is my voice. My child, remember this. Even the Savior, while on earth, did not reveal everything to everyone. He spoke one thing to the crowds, yet gave thorough explanations to his disciples. He reserved the deepest revelations for those whom the Father had truly chosen to share the burden. This was not favoritism, but wisdom. For not everyone has the capacity to receive and safeguard what is holy. In the same way, you must learn to discern your listeners. There are things that can be shared broadly, but there are truths meant only for a few whom I have appointed. And there are matters you should keep only in your heart, lifting them up to me in prayer, waiting until the day I permit their proclamation. My child, I do not want you to think that silence or withholding is selfishness. In truth, it is faithful stewardship. Consider a steward entrusted with precious treasures. That person cannot carelessly open the vault to anyone who wishes to see. They must guard, protect, weigh carefully, and give only when the recipient is truly qualified. You too are a steward of the sacred things I have entrusted to you. The more carefully you guard them, the more you prove yourself faithful to me. And I, the one who has entrusted them to you, will see that you are worthy to receive even more. Others may not realize that their motives are not yet pure. They may believe that knowing more about your life will help them grow closer. But I who see clearly know that if you share too soon, it will become an entryway for unwanted influences. They will have information to use in ways you did not anticipate. They will gain opportunities to interfere with the things you are guarding. For this reason, I teach you to walk in wisdom when sharing. Not every question requires a full answer. Sometimes a brief and polite reply is sufficient. Sometimes silence is the wisest choice. And sometimes all you need is a smile and the decision to keep something to yourself. My child, let the Holy Spirit be your teacher in every word you speak. He will place peace within you when it is time to share, and he will also give you warning when you must withhold. He will grant you discernment to know when your words can be a source of encouragement and when they could instead become an open door for exploitation. This is the living reality of your relationship with me. When you walk under the guidance of the Spirit, the words you speak will carry power, and even your silence will carry meaning. Do not worry that others will think you are closed off if you do not speak much. In truth, the wise always know when to hold back, and that restraint makes your words all the more valuable. People will recognize that whenever you speak, it is never wasteful but rather a gift. They will come to learn that there is something sacred in the way you speak because you do not speak to satisfy curiosity but to express truth. This itself is evidence that you walk under my guidance. Therefore, my child, consider selective sharing as part of spiritual wisdom. Do not think that every truth must be spoken immediately. Do not assume that everything you know must be known by others. Keep what should be kept, and give only what I instruct you to give. When you live this way, you will be guarded from many snares. Others may try to probe or stir conversation, but they will not be able to breach the fence that I have taught you to build with wisdom. You will walk with confidence because you know you are not only protected by silence, but also sheltered by the direct guidance of my Spirit. My child, there is a most important sign that I have planted within your heart from the very beginning. It is peace. Peace is not a fleeting emotion nor merely an outward stillness. True peace comes from me. It is the sacred witness within your soul. It is your compass, your inner guide by which you discern when to speak and when to remain silent. When you learn to follow this peace, you will no longer be swayed by external pressure nor carried away by the curiosity or expectations of others. You will stand firm because you are being led directly by me. Others may use words to provoke, to urge you to share more. They may try to make you feel that silence is disrespectful or that revealing everything is proof of trust. But my child, I tell you, do not let such pressures govern your heart. When you are in me, peace will act as the referee for every decision. If, as you prepare to speak, your heart remains filled with peace, that is the sign I permit you to speak. But if the moment you are about to utter words, unease arises within you, a gentle reminder to hold back, you must obey at once. That unease is not given to make you fearful, but to protect you. It is the voice of my Spirit within you, guarding you from carelessness. My child, I want you to know that peace never lies. It is one of the clearest signs of my presence in your heart. You may not always hear a clear voice, but you will always sense either peace or unrest. When you converse with someone, keep turning inward and asking, do I have peace in this? If the answer is yes, continue. If the answer is no, stop. And if you are unsure, choose silence until peace returns. This practice will keep you safe from many needless wounds. I know there are moments when you fear that you may not be able to tell the difference between true peace and mere comfort. Remember, this comfort can come and go, but true peace is steadfast and enduring. Comfort may be produced by eloquent words or the charm of others, but true peace is not dependent on circumstances. It is the stillness deep within your heart, unmoved by what happens outside. If what you are about to do or say truly comes from me, peace will follow it. But if it does not come from me, you will sense a restlessness even if everything outwardly appears pleasant. My child, train yourself to discern this difference. The closer you remain to me, the more easily you will recognize true peace. The more time you spend in my word and in prayer, the more sensitive you will become to the stirring of the Spirit. And when you grow in this sensitivity, you will not be pressured by others to speak what you have not been given to say. You will no longer be anxious about what others think, because you will know that the inner witness matters more than any outward judgment. There may be those who try to use praise to urge you to speak more. They may say, you are so bold to share this, or you are so wise to open your heart. But my child, do not let such words guide you. Let peace be your guide. Praise may bring you joy for a moment, but only peace can keep you secure for the long run. If you hastily open your heart to please others, you may lose your protection. But if you allow peace to lead you, you will preserve the spiritual treasure entrusted to you, and no one will be able to take it away. And my child, I want you to know this as well. Peace not only guards you, but also testifies to others. When you speak with peace, your words carry power. When you remain silent in peace, even your silence becomes a message. Others will sense that there is something different about you, a strength within that they cannot explain, and that will be the evidence that you do not live by your own strength, but by my guidance. Therefore, my child, let peace be the standard that guides you in choosing whether to speak or to remain silent. Do not lean on external pressure. Do not depend on persuasive words, however sweet they may sound. Do not trust in your own wisdom alone. Instead, rely on the witness within you. When you live this way, you will not be led astray. Others may test you, examine you, or provoke you into conversation, but you will not be swept along. For my peace within you will always show you the right path. So, my child, treasure peace as a precious jewel. It is the portion I have given you to protect you in relationships and in every conversation. When you allow peace to guide you, you will know when to speak and when to be silent. You will not lose your freedom. Rather, you will live in true freedom. The freedom to love without being exploited, the freedom to open your heart without being wounded, and the freedom to walk in wisdom. This is the inheritance I have prepared for you, and if you hold on to it, you will always be safe in my embrace. My child, I want you to understand a foundational principle before you open your heart to receive anyone. First, open your heart to me in prayer. Prayer is not merely a ritual, it is the doorway into clarity. In prayer, you bring everything into my light, and that light will expose even the things your natural eyes cannot see. A person may approach you with a smile, with pleasant words, and with an appearance that seems full of goodwill. Yet when you come before me in prayer, you will see them through the lens of the Spirit, and that lens will reveal to you what is true and what is only appearance. You may think you are wise enough to discern on your own, but my child, the human heart is far more complex than you can imagine. Hidden motives can lie behind gentleness, and concealed intentions may be cloaked in kindness. If you rely only on your own understanding, you may be deceived by appearances. But if you step into prayer, I will open your eyes to see beyond the surface. I will show you what no one else can see. That is why I desire for you to form this habit before you trust, before you open your heart, before you share, pause, and pray. My child, prayer is not only about asking me to act, but also about learning how to listen. In the stillness of prayer, I will place peace within your heart if something comes from me, or unease if it is not my will. Do not ignore these subtle signs. You do not need to wait for a grand dream or a striking miracle. Sometimes it is nothing more than a gentle stirring in your spirit, yet that is truly my voice. If you listen earnestly in prayer, you will not be led astray. A person may use praise to win your trust or affection, to make you believe they deserve to know everything about you. But when you have prayed beforehand, you will not be swayed by such words. Prayer anchors your soul in steadfastness so that you are no longer dependent on the approval or rejection of others. Prayer also trains you in freedom, the freedom to speak when I permit, and the freedom to remain silent when I have not given you my guidance. It is within prayer that you will discover this freedom. You may ask, how can I pray when everything happens so quickly? When someone stands before me, I have no time to withdraw and spend long hours in prayer. My child, understand that prayer is not confined to long hours on your knees. Prayer can be as simple as a whisper in your heart, Lord, show me what I must do. A single short plea is enough to open the door for the Spirit to move. When you form the habit of continual prayer, you will always carry within you a stream of connection to me. And even in the very moment of facing someone, you can still hear my voice. My child, to pray before receiving anyone is like building an invisible fence around your heart. It does not allow anything to enter except what I permit. It guards you against hasty decisions. It slows you down so that I may step in and lead the way. When you pray, you hand over to me the final judgment. And when I am the judge, you can rest knowing everything is safely in my hands. Remember this, no one can hide anything from my presence. When you pray, my light exposes all things. Someone may wear a mask, but no mask can endure before the light. They may try to appear sincere, but in prayer you will sense the difference between truth and falsehood. Not because you are skilled at analyzing, but because I speak to you. This is the protection I give, and it always begins with prayer. My child, never underestimate the power of prayer. It is not merely a habit, but a weapon. It is not just an action, but a relationship. When you pray, you are declaring that you do not wish to walk alone, that you desire my presence in every detail. And when I am present, no scheme of the enemy can prevail. Others may harbor impure intentions, but prayer will render those intentions harmless. Prayer will turn the tide so that instead of you being influenced, you become the light that shines upon them. Therefore, my child, walk with a spirit of prayer. Before you open the door to anyone, open the door to me first. Before you give your words, give your thoughts to me. Before you place your trust in another place, your trust in me. If you live this way, you will never live in regret. People may come and go, but you will remain unshaken. Your peace will be kept intact, and the light within you will never be extinguished. My child, I want you to etch this truth deep in your heart whenever you pray. You never stand alone. Never think that your words merely echo into the air and vanish. Every whisper, no matter how small, reaches my throne. I listen as a father listens to the cry of his child, and I never turn away. When you pray, I do not only hear, I am present, covering you with protection and peace. This means that whenever you open your mouth to speak with me, you immediately step into a realm of safety where the enemy cannot reach you. You may think that prayer is a one-sided dialogue that you speak and I only listen. But my child, prayer is a living exchange. When you present what is on your heart, I respond with peace. When you reveal your anxieties, I respond with stillness. When you bring your questions, I plant clarity within you. This is why you need never fear losing your way in prayer. I am not merely a spectator. I am your companion, your intercessor, and your protector. Someone may stand before you with a smile and carefully crafted words, but the moment you speak with me, you are no longer facing them alone. My presence immediately fills the room, and your soul will sense the difference. That person may not realize it, but they will feel an atmosphere that does not belong to them. They may struggle to reach what you are not yet permitted to reveal, for I have set an invisible boundary. This is the protection that prayer brings. It transforms every circumstance into holy ground where others must bow before my presence. My child, remember this: when you pray, I am never indifferent. I do not leave you to grope in the dark or to guess your way alone. I give you the Holy Spirit, who is both the comforter and the guide. The Spirit will bear witness within your heart, reminding you, warning you, and comforting you. When you hear the whisper in your soul, when you sense the urging to hold back or to speak forth, that is the sign that you are not alone. Even if those around you cannot understand, I am still there testifying to you. My child, at times you may think, my presence is only clear during long prayers or in moments of silence. But I tell you, I am always there, even in the briefest prayers breathed in the midst of life. When you are speaking with someone, and in your heart you whisper, Lord, keep me in that very moment, I surround you. When you quietly ask, show me what to say, I place the right words upon your lips. When you plead within, grant me clarity, I immediately shine light within your spirit. This is proof that you have never and will never face life on your own. Remember the promise I once declared, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 1:3-5. That promise is not reserved only for times of great trial, but for every detail of daily life. When you open the door to welcome someone in, when you converse, when you make decisions, I am there. You need not fear misspeaking or misstepping, for I will remind you in due time. Even when you are about to say something you should not, I can cause your lips to falter, your words to slow, giving you a chance to stop. That is my intervention, living proof that you are never alone. My child, prayer also changes the way you see others. When you lift someone up to me, you no longer view them with suspicion or fear, but through the eyes of truth. I will show you the mixture within them, what part is a sincere desire, and what part springs from selfish motives. And when you see this, you will no longer be shocked or disillusioned. You will deal with them in grace, yet without allowing them to cross rightful boundaries. This is the balance that only prayer can bring. Imagine this: without prayer, you are like a person standing before the vast ocean without a compass. You could easily be carried away by the waves. But when you pray, you are like one who firmly holds the helm, knowing the direction clearly. The storm may rise, but you are not overwhelmed, for you know I am the one holding the helm with you, and when I hold the helm, you will never be drowned. Therefore, my child, never step into a meeting, a relationship, or even a conversation without prayer, even if it is only a short whisper lifted up to me. When you do so, you will realize that my presence always goes before you, surrounds you, and follows after you. You will no longer tremble before that person's presence because you know I am already there. You will no longer worry about whether you have enough wisdom because you know I will grant it to you at the very moment you need it. And above all, you will never feel alone because you know I am always by your side, witnessing and protecting you. My child, I want you to understand something deeper. Prayer is not only protection but also training. Every time you come to me, it is not only to seek safety, but also to allow your spirit to be shaped, your faith to be strengthened, and your discernment to grow. If there were only protection without training, you would remain forever in a defensive state. But I want you to grow so that you may step forward, face challenges, and stand firm in every trial. And that growth is forged in prayer. When that person draws near, you may feel your heart waver. You may feel anxious, confused, or uncertain about how to respond. But when you bring all those emotions into prayer, you are transforming confusion into an opportunity to learn wisdom. You are transforming fear into an opportunity to learn peace. You are transforming pressure into an opportunity to learn freedom. It is precisely in the moments when you offer me these small things that you are being trained to stand strong in the face of greater ones. Prayer does not merely extinguish the fire before your eyes, it prepares you to live in the fire without being consumed. My child, look at every trial through the eyes of prayer. A trial is not a sign that I have abandoned you, but an opportunity for me to teach you. That person may come with mixed motives, but through prayer you will learn discernment. They may bring temporary confusion, but through prayer you will learn how to hold on to peace. They may leave you feeling unsettled, but through prayer you will learn to place your trust in me instead of yourself. Each time this happens, your faith will be lifted to a new level, your maturity will be engraved more deeply. This is the very reason I allow trials, not to bring you down, but to make you steadfast. My child, remember David. When he was still a small shepherd boy, he learned how to pray in every circumstance. When the lion and the bear came, he did not panic, but he called upon me. Those moments trained him so that later, when he faced Goliath, he could stand firm without fear. Without those earlier prayers in smaller trials, David would not have been mature enough to withstand the greater one. In the same way, my child, the one who comes against you today is not here to destroy you, but to refine you. And it is prayer that will turn every trial into a school, a place where you are shaped to become stronger. My child, I know you often wish your life would pass peacefully, without conflict, without struggle, but you can only grow when you are placed in the environment of trials. Prayer does not remove the challenges, but it transforms them into tools. When you pray, the trial no longer remains a danger. It becomes a stepping stone that lifts you higher. When you pray, what the enemy intends for your downfall becomes the very opportunity for me to reveal my power. This is the mystery of prayer. It transforms what is fearful into what is fruitful. Pay attention, my child. After each time you pray and overcome a trial, your heart grows more peaceful, your ears more attentive, your eyes more discerning. You begin to clearly recognize what comes from me and what does not. You begin to grow in confidence as you place your trust in me. You are no longer easily swayed by praise or criticism, by friendliness or distance. You begin to live with a new kind of freedom, the freedom of one who has been trained, the freedom of one who knows that no challenge can defeat them, for they have learned to conquer through prayer. My child, prayer also cultivates in you a humble heart. Each time you pray, you are admitting that you cannot manage on your own. You are saying that you need me. And this very humility guards you from pride, from the illusion that you can control everything by yourself. Humility opens the way for grace, and grace is the true strength. Therefore, the more you pray, the more grace you receive, and the more you are refined to walk firmly in that grace. My child, receive this discipline with a joyful heart. Do not look at trials as a burden, but see them as opportunities to grow stronger. Do not think that prayer is only for surviving the present moment, but remember that it is also a journey of preparation for greater things ahead. The one who has come today is but a part of the training plan, so that when tomorrow you face greater challenges, you will not be afraid. The prayers you offer today are the very provisions for tomorrow's victories. Therefore, my child, pray not only for protection but for refinement. Regard each trial as an opportunity to mature. See this person not merely as a threat but as a classroom where I teach you discernment, where I make you steadfast, where I instruct you to love with wisdom. When you hold on to this perspective, anxiety will no longer rule you. Fear will no longer overwhelm you, but you will walk forward with a new confidence that everything unfolding is in my hands, and I will turn it all to your good. My child, I want you to remember an unchanging truth. My presence surrounds you like a mighty fortress. This is not a fanciful thought, but a spiritual reality I have promised to those who walk in my covenant. When you trust and call upon me, I am not only within you, but I encompass you on every side. Just as Jerusalem is encircled by mountains, so my presence shields you all around. That person may draw near, may seek to influence, but before their words can even touch your heart, my presence has already formed a hedge of protection around you. My child, imagine this, a little one walking through a crowded place, yet holding tightly to the hand of their parents. The child may hear many voices around, may see many hands reaching out, but it does not fear, for it knows that its parents' hands are enclosing its own. So it is with you, my child. Even if that person appears with a smile, with sweet words, with clever questions, you need not tremble. I have taken hold of your hand, and mine will never let go. No influence can breach the fortress of my presence to harm you, unless you choose to open the gate yourself. That is why I teach you the way of watchfulness, so that the door remains firmly closed in me. My child, my presence is not merely an idea, but a living flame. When I am with you, my light shines and causes the darkness to vanish. That person may try to conceal their motives, but my light within you will expose the cracks. They may come with a smile, but my presence will not allow them to hide forever behind a mask. This is not because you are unusually perceptive, but because I am within you. I am the light, and light will never allow the darkness to prevail. You may worry that you will be swayed by skillful words, but take heart. When you walk in me, their words lose power. They may echo in your ears, but they will not take root in your heart. Like rain falling upon stone, they may touch the surface, but they cannot seep in. The reason is that your heart is covered by my presence, and my peace is your firm foundation. My child, you need not fear being shaken, for I am the one who keeps you standing. Remember the promise I have spoken. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. Deuteronomy 3:1-8. This is not just a comfort, but a spiritual reality. When I am with you, you are sheltered, and that presence is enough to dissolve every scheme. That person may try to find a weakness, but the fortress of my presence has no breach. They may attempt to exert influence, but it is my presence that will make them falter. You do not need to strive to defend yourself in your own strength. Simply trust and remain in my presence, and you already have a steadfast defense. My child, there will be times when you feel this presence as a warmth surrounding you, times when you sense it as a deep peace, and times when it manifests as strength within your soul. Whatever its form, be assured, I am always there. You may not see with your physical eyes, but you will recognize it in the way you are no longer unsettled by that person's words, in the way you stand firm instead of wavering, in the way you hold peace instead of falling into turmoil. This is the clear evidence that my presence is at work around you. Do not think that you must face this alone. When that person appears, remember that I stand with you. My presence is your shield, your lamp, your strength. You do not need to argue to prove anything. You do not need to strain yourself to read their thoughts. You only need to remain close to me, for it is I who will reveal what needs to be brought into the open. Walk in gentleness yet with firmness, in love yet with alertness, in peace yet with steadfastness. All of this is secured not by your own ability, but by the fortress of my presence surrounding you. Therefore, my child, when you worry that this person might influence you, remember that I have already covered you. When you fear that their words could sow confusion, remember that I have built a fortress around your heart. When you feel small, remember that it is my presence that makes you unshakable. And as you walk in this awareness, you will not only be kept safe, but you will also become a living testimony for others to see there is a greater one reigning within you. My child, I want you to know this with certainty. The light I have placed within you will never be hidden, and that very light will reveal the truth. They may try to conceal their motives behind sweet words, behind kind gestures, or even behind acts that appear generous. Yet the light I have placed in you is stronger than any mask. You do not need to fear that you will be deceived forever, because I have spoken. For nothing is hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open. Luke 8:1-7. This word is your assurance the truth will in the end be uncovered. They may rehearse their words, stage their actions, and craft an impression. For a time, the truth may seem difficult to discern. But my child, my light will gradually shine forth, and what is hidden will come to the surface. Not through your anxious probing, but through the power of the light itself. Light does not need to argue with darkness. It only needs to be present, and darkness instantly vanishes. In the same way, when my light dwells within you, what is false cannot endure for long. They may attempt to maintain their facade, but the very weight of my presence within you will make their mask unbearable, and they will not be able to sustain it. My child, this also means that you do not need to become suspicious or strive to expose anyone. Your task is not to uncover the truth by your own effort, but to let the light within you do that work. All you need to do is live in my presence, walk in peace, and remain faithful. When you do so, the difference between what is genuine and what is false will naturally reveal itself. A person may speak with clever words, but in time their own words will contradict themselves. They may act like a companion, but their behavior will eventually expose the cracks. And when that happens, you will see clearly without the need for argument. My child, the light within you is not only for protection, but also for testing. At first, someone may feel comfortable in its glow, but the closer they remain to the light, the more it will uncover them. If their motives are pure, they will feel uplifted, enlightened, and encouraged. But if their motives are corrupted, they will feel unsettled, restless, and gradually unable to endure. Light does not harm, but light exposes. And such exposure will leave them with a choice, either to let go of what is wrong and step into what is true, or to retreat because they cannot bear the truth. In either case, you remain safe. My child, I know you fear being trapped in uncertainty, unsure of who this person truly is, but trust that I will not allow you to walk endlessly in confusion. My light never fails. It may not reveal everything at once, but it will gradually make known what needs to be seen at the right time. Truth cannot remain hidden forever, and I will ensure that you perceive what is essential before any harm comes to you. Therefore, rest in the trust that my light will lead you from what is vague to what is clear. Pay attention, my child. When you walk in the light, it is that very light which compels a person to show their true nature. They may grow frustrated when they do not receive what they seek from you. They may reveal impatience, or even slip in their words and disclose their motives. These signs are not coincidences, but the result of my light shining upon them. You do not need to rush to conclusions, but simply take note and allow the Holy Spirit to confirm. In this way, you will no longer be caught off guard, nor will you remain confused. My child, be at peace, knowing that my light within you has another purpose, not only to expose others, but also to reveal your own heart. As you walk in the light, you will see clearly what within you is still weak, still easily swayed. This is not condemnation, but an opportunity for transformation. I use the light to shape you so that you may grow in maturity day by day, and so that your heart may become purer and purer. When the light reveals both you and the other person, it is a sign that you are living in truth, and truth, my child, will always set you free. Therefore, my child, do not fear that another's motives will remain forever hidden. Do not worry that they will outwit you. Walk in the light, and let the light do its work. You do not need to strain yourself to search for proof. You only need to dwell in my presence, and my light will make all things known. A person may try to hide, but no one can conceal themselves from the light. They may devise their schemes, but every scheme becomes powerless when brought under my light. Be certain of this. My child, in the end, the light will prevail. Darkness is only temporary, but the light endures forever. As you remain in me, truth will gradually be revealed, and you will be protected from all that could harm you. This is my promise to you. You are not abandoned in the dark, but you are led in the light, and that light is sufficient to keep you safe, sufficient to illuminate your path, and sufficient to unveil every truth. My child, I want you to remember an important truth. Every unity built upon falsehood will soon collapse. A person may seek out accomplices to reinforce their confidence, may join with others to build a wall that seems unbreakable. They may tell themselves that their alliance will make them stronger, that numbers will secure their plans against all threats. But my child, remember this: no foundation built on lies can stand against the light. It may appear solid for a moment, but as soon as my light shines upon it, the whole structure will shake and fall. Look back at history. How many times has humanity conspired together against my will? They thought their unity would render me powerless. But every unity not grounded in truth has crumbled. The Tower of Babel is a clear testimony. At that time, mankind was united in thought and purpose, but their goal was not toward me, it was toward themselves. They sought to make a name for themselves, to trust in the work of their own hands as proof of strength. I scattered them, and their project remained forever unfinished. In the same way, every unity rooted in deceit, in selfish ambition, will ultimately be exposed in its frailty and brought to ruin. They may clasp hands with those who sympathize with their motives. Together they may deliberate, encourage one another, and persuade each other in order to conceal their true intentions. Yet, my child, such unity is nothing more than a fragile alliance. It is like a net woven from decayed threads. In the eyes of the world they may appear strong, but in my sight it is only a thin shell that easily tears apart when exposed to the light. They may find agreement in falsehood, but such agreement carries no power. For true power comes only when there is unity in the light and in truth. My child, understand this. True unity does not arise from numbers, but from my presence. Even if you stand alone in me, you are stronger than any alliance built on deceit. You need not fear when you see them joining forces, for you know their union cannot endure. Sooner or later, contradictions will surface, divisions will appear, and deceit will turn back against them. This is an unchanging law. Whatever is sown in darkness reaps disorder, but whatever is sown in the light brings forth peace. Do not let your heart tremble when you see the multitude. I do not measure strength by numbers, but by the foundation upon which one stands. A great crowd built on lies cannot compare to a solitary one who puts their trust in me. Do you remember the story of Elijah? He stood alone against hundreds of false prophets, yet because he stood in truth, truth prevailed. Fire from heaven testified that the unity of deceivers cannot stand before my presence. In the same way, my child, you need not fear any alliance formed by that one. Rest your heart in this assurance: I am the one who brings every truth into the open, and I am also the one who causes every false unity to collapse. You need only walk steadfastly in the light, and you will see darkness vanish on its own. When they join together in deceit, deceit itself will devour them. When they unite in ambition, ambition itself will divide them. But when you are united with me, that union can never be broken, for it is founded upon eternal truth. My child, learn to discern. Not everyone who agrees with each other is truly united. True unity is not merely a shared voice, but a shared spirit. If the spirit does not come from me, then that agreement is only a facade, and a facade cannot endure when light shines upon it. Therefore, do not be deceived by appearances, nor be afraid when you see many standing on the same side. My being with you is more than enough for you to overcome multitudes. My child, I want you to know that unity in the light is the only unity that lasts. When you walk in truth, you will naturally be connected with those who belong to me. You do not need to seek the crowd, for I will bring true companions to you. They will not come to exploit, but to support. They will not come to take, but to share. And such unity will not easily collapse, for it is not built on selfishness, but on love and truth. Therefore, my child, when you see someone striving to unite with others through deceit, do not tremble. Believe that such unity is only temporary. It is like a candle lit in the wind, burning brightly for a moment but quickly extinguished. In contrast, the unity in the light that I give is like the lamp in the temple, burning endlessly, never extinguished, for it is sustained by the oil of the Holy Spirit. Choose that unity, and you will be safe in every season. My child, I want you to clearly understand that what you are experiencing is neither random nor a punishment. This is part of the training program I have set for you. I have not placed you in this situation to make you tremble or feel lost, but to sharpen your eyes to see more clearly, your ears to hear more keenly, and your heart to grow firmer in discernment. You cannot mature in faith if you live only in ease. It is through trials that faith is refined and discernment sharpened. Therefore, receive this circumstance not as a threat, but as a classroom where I, myself, am teaching you. That person did not appear outside of my control, but under my permission to teach you an important lesson. You may think that I could have prevented them from the beginning, so that you would not have to face them. But my child, if I did so, you would never have the chance to practice distinguishing the true from the false. Just as a soldier must enter the training ground before stepping into battle, you too need these encounters to be equipped. When you see a smile but sense unease within, when you hear sweet words but the Spirit warns you to be cautious, that is the very moment your discernment is being sharpened. The more you listen, the more you grow, and that is exactly what I desire. My child, do not fear the presence of darkness, for darkness only gives you the opportunity to recognize the power of light. If you had never seen falsehood, how would you know to treasure the truth? If you had never faced ambiguity, how could you learn to hold firmly to clarity? It is precisely this contrast that trains your ability to discern. The trial you face today is not meant to bring you down, but to prepare you for greater challenges tomorrow. I am lifting you from one level to the next, and each trial is a step on the staircase. You are not standing still, you are ascending, and this is part of the upward journey. My child, I know that at times you wish your spiritual life could be nothing but gentle peace, no conflicts, no doubts, no suspicions. But if I allowed you to remain in that comfort forever, you would become weak and unprepared. When the true storm comes, you would not be able to stand firm. That is why I let the smaller winds blow first, so that you may learn to keep your balance. I allow smaller challenges to come so that you may train your ears to hear my voice. And when the greater test arrives, you will not tremble, for you will have been strengthened through the smaller steps. This is my mercy, not my abandonment. Remember, this discernment is not a skill learned from books, but one forged through practice. You cannot simply hear theory and then expect to recognize rightly in every circumstance. You must go through real situations where you are compelled to listen for my voice, to place your trust in me, to test the peace within your heart. And it is these very experiences that will engrave within you a sharpness that no one can take away. This is the value of the trials I allow. Therefore, my child, do not resent the person who appears before you, nor complain about the difficult situation you must face. See it instead as a lesson, an opportunity to grow. When you shift your perspective, you will find your heart set free. Instead of fear, you will ask with curiosity, Lord, what do you want to teach me through this circumstance? Instead of confusion, you will rest in peace. If you have allowed this, surely you have already prepared me. And instead of trembling, you will be strong. I will walk in the light and let you instruct me. This attitude transforms every trial into a treasure. My child, I say it again, unity in the light alone endures, while deceit will soon collapse. This trial is only an illustration to show you that difference. Someone may come to confuse you, but in the end, what you will gain is growth in discernment. This is what I have ordained, and I will bring it to completion in you. Therefore, be strong and steadfast. Walk with the assurance that no trial is meaningless. Every trial, when brought into prayer, becomes a classroom for spiritual maturity. And I, the one who began this good work in you, will never stop until it is finished. My child, I want you to learn a precious lesson in this training process, to discern my voice among the countless voices resounding around you. In this world, there are many sounds seeking to capture your attention. There are the voices of others, each with their own intentions. There is the voice of your own mind filled with worry and doubt. There is the voice of the enemy always whispering lies. And there is also my voice, gentle yet firm. You must learn how to recognize which voice truly comes from me, because if you mistake it, you will be swept away. But if you recognize it rightly, you will stand firm forever. One may come to you with advice, with words of comfort, or even with teachings. At first, they may sound like encouragement, but, my child, not all encouragement comes from me. Some words only soothe you for a moment, but lead you away from the path I have prepared. Some sweet words conceal motives that seek to gain your trust. You cannot rely on sweetness of tone alone to decide. You must listen for the essence within. Does that voice sow peace or confusion? Does it strengthen your trust in me or cause you to doubt me? Does it lead you to life, or does it leave you weary and burdened? This is the measure by which you must discern. My child, my voice always brings peace. That peace is not always easy, but it is deep and enduring. Even when I correct you, my voice still carries peace, for it leads you into freedom. By contrast, the voice of the enemy sows fear, and the voice of doubt sows disorder. If you hear a voice that unsettles you, that robs your faith, that makes you feel abandoned, know this: it is not my voice. I have never come to discourage you. I come to give you hope. I have never come to shake you. I come to make you steadfast. I have never come to extinguish the flame. I come to fan life into it. So, my child, learn to listen deeply within your heart. Do not merely hear the outward sound, but look to the fruit that voice produces in your spirit. If it draws you to prayer, draws you nearer to me, strengthens love and faith, then it is my voice. But if it pulls you away from me, leaves you weary, or drives you to seek human approval rather than my confirmation, then it is not my voice. Remember, the enemy can also use words that sound convincing, but the fruit it bears will always be distraction and confusion. My child, I know that many times you are afraid of making mistakes. You fear that you will not be able to discern my voice, but do not forget that I am your Father and you are my sheep. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. I do not play a game of hide and seek with you. I do not desire for my voice to be drowned in confusion. On the contrary, I long for my voice to grow ever clearer within you. What is needed is that you learn to listen through practice. The closer you draw to me, the easier it becomes to recognize my voice. The more time you spend in prayer and the Word in silence, the more you will be able to distinguish between what is true and what is false. There may be one who tries to sow doubt in you by asking, "Are you sure God really said that?" This has been the enemy's ancient strategy from the very beginning. But my child, if you are familiar with my voice, you will not be shaken. You will remember the times I have spoken, the times I have kept you, the times I have acted. You will recognize that the voice of doubt never brings peace, while my voice always affirms the truth in love. And in that moment you will stand firm, not because you are strong, but because you know who is speaking to you. My child, I want you to be refined to the point where you can recognize my voice, even in the midst of chaos. The world may be noisy, the enemy may whisper, your heart may tremble, but you will still be able to say, "This is the voice of my Father." When you reach that place, you will walk with confidence. You will no longer be swayed by the words of others, nor dependent on their approval. You will not be carried along by the tide of public opinion, but will know with certainty what I have spoken. This is true freedom, not the freedom to follow your own will, but the freedom to follow my voice without confusion. Therefore, my child, consider this trial as a training ground for recognizing my voice. That one may come near, may speak many words, yet, through it all, you are being trained in spiritual hearing. You are learning to examine your heart. Does this voice bring peace or confusion? Does it draw me nearer to God or push me farther away? Does it sow life or does it sow death? In this way, you will become more and more discerning, and you will come to realize that I, myself, am using this very trial to teach you a priceless skill to hear my voice among the multitude of others. My child, I am deeply pleased to see you growing each day in your ability to recognize my voice. This is not a process that happens overnight, but a journey shaped through every encounter, every word, and every quiet moment in which you pause to listen, to reflect, and to discern. With each step you take, I am teaching you something deeper about who I am, that I am the one who never speaks in contradiction, who never sows fear, who never leaves you in confusion. My voice is always clear, always consistent, and always leading you closer to true life. When you begin to grasp this truth in a profound way, you will enter into a new season, the season of inner steadfastness. Such steadfastness does not come from external circumstances, nor from how others may treat you, but from the unshakable anchor within your heart rooted in truth. You will know that no matter what others may say, you can remain at peace within because you have heard my voice. And once you have heard my voice, no other voice will have the power to unsettle you. That person may still be present, still speaking, still stirring the hearts of others, yet you will no longer be swayed. You will not be drawn by appearances nor enticed by eloquent words. You will no longer chase after human approval, for you have already received approval from me. You will feel no need to explain or prove yourself, for you know that I have seen, I have known, and I have already affirmed you. This, my child, is the most precious gift. Peace does not come from others changing, but from the change that has taken place within you. Perhaps that person does not go away. Perhaps they still speak, still come near, still influence those around them. But you are different. You are no longer shaken. You are no longer governed by their gaze, their words, or their presence. You no longer live by fleeting emotions, but by my voice that speaks with authority and truth. In this state, you walk with a new kind of spiritual authority, not because you control anyone, but because you have brought yourself under control through the leading of the Holy Spirit. You no longer speak out of fear, but out of the knowledge of truth. You no longer act from fluctuating emotions, but from the wisdom of heaven. And it is in this steady posture that I will use you to influence the atmosphere around you. When you enter a place, you carry peace with you. When you face that person, you are not drawn into their sway. Instead, you draw the atmosphere of heaven with you. My child, the day will come when you look back and give thanks for that person's presence in your life. Not because they were perfect, nor because they were right, but because it was through their very presence that you learned to listen, to discern, and to stand firm. The enemy intended to use their presence to lead you astray, but I, the one who holds authority over all things, turned it into a classroom for your soul. And for that reason, their presence no longer fills you with fear. It becomes a testimony that I have taught you, trained you, and brought you to maturity. I want you to remember this. That person cannot define who you are. Their voice does not determine your future, and their presence cannot diminish my calling over your life. Only I am the one who shapes you. Only I am the one who lifts you up, grants you grace, and protects you. People may come and go, but my covenant with you is everlasting. Hearts may change, but my love never does. So why then would you allow their presence or their absence to shake the stability of your inner being? When you walk in this awareness, you become spiritually mature. You are no longer a child easily swayed by sweet gestures or captivated by sparkling eyes. You are becoming one whose backbone is firm in faith. One whom I can send anywhere for you will not be bound by circumstances. Whether you are near or far from that person, you will remain upright because you live by my word and not by fleeting emotions. And my child, it is precisely when you are steadfast in this way that I will open new doors before you. You will no longer be trapped in the cycles of another's emotions. You will not need to wait for them to change in order to have peace. You will step into a new season where peace depends on no one else but me. From that very place of firm standing, you will become a refuge for others who are lost and unsettled. You will be a light in the midst of darkness, a clear voice in the storm of chaos. Hold on to this peace, my beloved. Do not let anyone take it from you. Do not allow another's words to muddy the clear waters within you. Do not permit anyone's actions to make you doubt what I have spoken. When you hear my voice, you will live. When you follow my voice, you will be safe. When you stand upon my word, you will never be overthrown. And if one day you must look upon that person again, look with eyes that have been trained. No longer with expectation, no longer with the wounded gaze of disappointment, but with the vision of one who knows where they belong and who it is that leads them. Then you will know you have matured. You have overcome not by conquering another, but by conquering yourself under my power. My child, when I lead you through trials, I never intend for you to remain forever in old ground. At the appointed time, I will say to you, it is time to move forward. The maturity I have shaped in you is not for you to wander endlessly within that relationship, but to make you strong enough to step out to begin a new chapter with a heart filled with peace and unwavering faith. Not because that person has changed, not because you have received satisfaction from them, but because I, the one who leads, have clearly shown you the right moment to let go, to move forward without looking back in regret. My child, it is easy to remain in a relationship simply out of habit, out of fear of loneliness, or out of a false sense of security. At times you may think that by leaving you would lose something precious: recognition, companionship, or even just familiarity. But I tell you this, the most precious thing you have is your obedience to me, and the freedom of your soul that comes when you know you are walking in the path I have set before you. That person cannot be the source of your peace, nor can they be the place where you find your identity. You belong to me, and when I call you to step out, it is because I have already prepared something new for you, a new journey, a new harvest, a new season waiting ahead. You are not leaving because of failure, but because a process of training has been completed, and it is time for you to move forward into the next stage of maturity. My beloved child, I know that parting with anything that once felt familiar always leaves an emptiness in your heart, but believe this, that empty space is not a loss but a room for me to fill with better things. I never take anything away from you without giving back in greater measure. When you choose to walk away, walk in peace, not in bitterness. Let your heart be light like a craftsman who has completed his work. Do not carry with you unsaid words, regrets of the past, or expectations that never took shape. Carry gratitude instead, for I allowed that connection to play its part in your journey, and now I grant you permission to leave with thankfulness and relief. You may ask me, how will I know when the time has come? My child, I will not leave you wandering in uncertainty. When the time arrives, I will place within your heart a clear prompting, not of fear but of peace. That peace does not force you to decide immediately, but it opens the way for you to feel light when you think about letting go. The things that once weighed heavily on your heart will no longer feel burdensome. The cords that once bound your mind will begin to loosen. These are the signs that I am making the way clear for you. Do not overlook these quiet movements within your soul. I will confirm them to you through my word, through the assurance within your spirit, and through circumstances around you. If you listen and remain faithful in prayer, you will not miss the appointed time. My child, leaving does not mean denying the value of that person, nor does it mean denying their role in your journey. I do not teach you to live in denial, nor to run away. I teach you to let go with gratitude, with respect, and with blessing. When you walk away in such a spirit, you not only preserve your dignity, but you also open the way for the other person to be free to face the light of truth, and to have the opportunity to change if they truly desire it. Do not turn departure into an accusation or a sentence. See it instead as a step of maturity, a milestone of spiritual progress. You may feel guilty or fear that they will misunderstand you, even resent you. But my child, you do not have the right to control another's emotions, nor do you need to bear responsibility for their reactions. Your responsibility is to obey me, to remain faithful, and to live in the light. As for changing another's heart, I will do that if it is for their good. Do not prolong a connection simply out of fear of hurting the other person. Do not place the emotions of others above my voice within you. When you do, you unknowingly honor human opinion, rather than submitting to the voice of God. Remember, this obedience to me always leads to blessing, while compromise for the sake of feelings only brings weariness, confusion, and loss of direction. Therefore, my child, when I say it is time to move on, do so in a spirit of obedience, in peace, and with thanksgiving. Do not leave hastily, if I have not confirmed it, but neither should you delay once. My voice is clear. Stepping out is not the act of a defeated person, but the transition of one who has matured and is ready to embrace something greater. When you do this, you will experience a new level of freedom, a new clarity, and a new flow of blessing will open in your life. For to everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3:1. You are stepping into a new season not by your own strength, but by my guidance, I who love you more than anyone who has ever walked into your life. My child, when you hear my call to step away from an old relationship, I know that your heart may be filled with many layers of emotion. There is relief, but there are also lingering wounds, memories rushing back, and questions still unanswered. Yet I declare to you, do not let the past bind your steps. Do not allow old memories to become chains that hold you back from the new things I have already prepared for you. The very moment you choose to obey my voice, I begin a process of healing within you, a deep healing that does not merely soothe the surface but reaches into the depths of your soul, restoring you to the wholeness I intended for you. Imagine yourself as someone crossing a bridge. Looking back, you see that the bridge helped you pass over vast waters, yet its purpose was never for you to remain standing on it, afraid to go further. In the same way, past relationships may once have helped you grow, serving as anchors for a season. But when I call you forward, it is so that you may enter into a wider, greater land, a place where true peace and freedom await. Do not cling to what no longer fits, and do not hold tightly to what has reached its end. I will heal the wounds, wipe away every tear, and give you a new vision so that you may lift your head and move forward. My child, the freedom I give is not loneliness or emptiness. It is the freedom of knowing you belong to me, loved by me, protected by me, and led by me. As you obey and take each step, I grant you strength to rise above every criticism, every voice from the past. I break the chains of fear, the weight of guilt, and all that once kept you from revealing your true self. I teach you that freedom does not come from controlling circumstances or other people, but from entrusting all things completely to me, the one who alone holds authority over your life. You may be surprised to feel a new stream of peace flowing within your heart. This peace does not come because outward circumstances have changed, but because of an inner assurance you are walking in the path I have marked out for you. The worries about how others perceive you, the sting of criticism, the ache of someone's absence, these will gradually fade as you realize that I am still with you, still caring for you, still guiding you. I am the one who heals every wound, who restores joy after sorrow, who brings hope when every door seems closed. My child, do not be in a hurry to fill the emptiness left behind with a new relationship, another distraction, or anything else merely to soothe the ache of loneliness. Allow yourself to be still in my presence so that the process of healing may be brought to completion in its fullness. I do not demand that you forget every memory, but I do long for you to release what is no longer needed. Let my love fill every empty place, turning each pain into a mark of grace and each memory into a testimony of my faithfulness along your journey. If you still have something to say it to me. If you still have tears, cry them with me. If you still have questions, ask me. I am a merciful Father, always ready to listen, to hold you close, and to answer every question of yours with peace. Do not rush to appear strong before me. Your weakness is the place where I reveal my power. Your honesty is the foundation upon which I build something new for your future. My child, I know there will be times when you feel alone and lost. But remember, precisely in those moments, I am nearest to you. I will bring new people and new connections into your life, but they will come at the time I appoint, in the way I choose, and in harmony with the path you are walking. Do not grow impatient, and do not compare yourself with anyone else. Your healing and your freedom are unique, designed specifically for you to prepare and equip you for the next chapter I have already planned. And my child, let hope spring forth within you. When I say move forward, I do not mean only to take away, but also to give. I am the one who makes all things new, who opens a way through the wilderness and causes streams to flow in the desert. Do not look at the new journey with doubt, but with anticipation. What good thing will the Lord reveal next? True freedom will lead you into a wider horizon, the horizon of new opportunities, deeper relationships, and richer seasons of day. Blessing. I declare, Take each small step in silence, not in haste, but in hope. Each morning as you rise, place your hand upon your heart and say, Lord, I give this new day into your hands. Lead me, heal me, and show me what is new. As you pray this way, I will answer. I will guide you through every door at the right time and open every path in its appointed season. And you will experience a restoration that nothing in this world can give, a restoration that comes from my very hand. Therefore, my child, walk in freedom, that I may heal every place where you have been wounded. Embrace this new journey not with a fearful heart, but with a great and steadfast hope. I am the one who began this work, and I will also bring it to completion. Do not be afraid of what lies ahead, for every step you take has already been prepared by me, a path laid out with hope and healing. As you enter this new land, you will come to understand you are not leaving something behind, but you are being called forward, lifted up, and sent forth in my love and power. My child, as you step out of your old place of safety, leaving behind relationships that have reached their appointed end, I want you to remember this: you are never alone on this new road. Do not fear that by leaving what is familiar, you will be left to struggle alone against the storms of life. I am the one who not only calls you to go, but who also walks beside you, shelters you, and leads you to the very end. I am the one who goes before you, smoothing the rough ground, bending the crooked paths, and building firm bridges across chasms your eyes have never yet seen. Beloved child, my protection is not only an unseen shield against the enemy, but also my sweet presence with you each day, the gentle voice that guides your every step. When you hesitate, pause and ask me, and I will remind you of my promises. When your heart feels anxious, return to stillness and let me hold you, reminding you that no challenge is greater than my embrace. My protection is not an abstract reassurance, but a reality proven in the course of your daily life, those moments when you thought you would fall, yet you were lifted up again by a strength far beyond your own understanding. My child, the doors I open are not like those the world expects to see. At times you may imagine something grand, dazzling, and obvious standing before you. Yet often the doors I prepare arrive in quietness through new connections, small opportunities you might overlook, or simple invitations that seem ordinary but are in fact the vital links in my greater plan. Keep your heart tender and your eyes discerning to recognize these doors. Do not despise any opportunity nor reject what seems small simply because it does not match your first expectations. For I often use the small to prepare the way for the great and the humble step to lead you into glory. I also want you to know that on this new path there will be times when you face challenges. There will be seasons that seem dry and silent, where no immediate results are visible. Yet, my child, it is precisely in those moments that I am working most deeply within you, preparing your soul, shaping your thoughts, and teaching you to be patient, faithful, and to place your expectations rightly in me. Do not hastily assume that silence means abandonment. At times, my silence is simply to help your heart grow, for your faith to take deeper root, and for your peace to no longer depend on outward circumstances, but to stand firmly in me, the one who never changes. My child, I will send to you new people, true companions, righteous mentors, encouraging hearts who will support and understand you. They will come at the appointed time I have set, bringing the help you need along each step of the journey. They are not coming to fill the void that the past has left behind, but to walk with you into a new season with freshness and greater wholeness. I do not leave you alone, nor do I desire for you to live alone. Every blessing I give is designed for you to experience within community and mutual support and in love. If along the way you encounter old shadows or hear whispers from the past, remember that they hold no power over you any longer. I have opened for you a new path, a door that no one can shut. And if you still hear voices of criticism or doubt, bring them to me in prayer. I will speak to you words of life, reminding you of your place in me, of my choice over you, and of the hopeful future I have promised to give you. My dear child, my guidance is not merely a list of commands to obey, but words of encouragement, direction given step by step, day by day. At times I will lead you through doors that may seem ordinary, yet they will open to extraordinary things. Sometimes I will place within your heart an unexplainable stirring, leading you to a place, a relationship, or a new work where you will see clearly my imprint upon your life. Do not fear change, do not fear beginning again, and do not fear the unknown. I go before you, I stand beside you, and I follow after you, surrounding you, carrying you, and sustaining you. My child, I speak this to you so that you may know each time you obey. My voice, a new wave of blessing flows into your life. These blessings do not always appear in the form of wealth, fame, or success by human standards. At times they come as a deep contentment, a true rest in your spirit, a joy that cannot be explained or divinely appointed encounters. When you remain in the current of obedience, everything I have destined for you will come at the right time, in the right place, and in the right way. Hold fast to your faith in me, my beloved. If obstacles arise, do not look back and doubt the decision you once made in obedience. Remember, I never promised that the path would be smooth, but I did promise that I would walk with you to the very end. Every challenge is only an opportunity for me to reveal my power. Every unexpected turn is but a step leading you towards something greater than you can yet see. And when you step into new lands and open your heart to new doors, do so with hope, with trust, and with joy. Welcome each new day as one who knows they are loved, guided, and protected. Do not let what is old hold you back. Do not let fear cause you to hesitate. I, the one who has called you forth, the one who goes before you, am also the one who will bring you into the fullness of the plan I have prepared for you. When this journey comes to a close, my child, I want you to look back with the eyes of gratitude, thankful for every trial, every stumble, every seemingly dark moment through which I have led you. Do not carry the weight of yesterday as a burden in your heart. Let all that has passed stand as testimony to my love, my faithfulness, and my power at work in your life. You have learned to hear my voice amid the noise of the world, to courageously release what no longer belonged to you, and to step forward even when you could not see the whole road ahead. From now on, the horizon opens before you with true freedom, with a heart made whole and with a steadfast spirit unshaken. Remember this, every step you take is covered by my presence, held securely in my hand of protection and guidance. I, the one who has chosen you, called you, refined you, and prepared you for greater things to come. My beloved child, keep alive the spirit of hope and unwavering trust. I am not only the keeper of your past, but also the architect and blesser of your future. The blessings ahead are not limited by what has been lost. They are sealed by your obedience, your peace, and your faith in me. Do not let memories of the old or wounds of the past hold you back. See them instead as proofs of my steadfast love and faithfulness toward you. Out of every hardship and every tear, I have caused new blossoms to spring forth, blossoms of maturity, resilience, and spiritual power. Now is the time for you to step into a new season with courage in your heart, with open hands and with eyes filled with anticipation for the good things I will do. And now, when all worries and confusion have quieted down, when your soul is prepared for a different beginning, I invite you to pause for a moment and lift your heart to me in prayer. Let all that is past become words of praise, and all that is yet to come be entrusted fully into my hands, the one who forever loves, cares for, and guides your life through every season. Let this moment mark the true beginning of renewal, no longer bound by the past, no longer afraid of the unknown, but wholly trusting in the one who preserves, protects, and blesses you. I am always listening, always receiving, and always ready to pour peace and life into you when you sincerely seek me. Come with me into prayer that this new journey may begin in the assurance, freedom, and joy I have promised. Beloved Father, I bow in gratitude to you for being with me through every upheaval, for using each trial, each fall, to teach me how to rise again, to grow, and to discern what belongs to you and what I must let go. Help me always to remember that every season past has been an essential part of making me stronger for this day. I thank you for teaching me to recognize your comforting voice amid the noise, for teaching me to let go without bitterness, to close chapters without regret, and to move forward with courage, hope, and true freedom. Lord, please grant me a watchful heart, always attentive to your voice amid the chaos of this world. When I am unsettled, remind me that only your voice can bring deep peace and lead me on the path of truth. Do not let me be carried away by lies or unhealthy influences, but preserve in me the peace and clarity to discern what truly comes from you. Grant me the courage to obey when you call me to leave behind what no longer belongs to my season, to release old ties, and to step into the new journey you have prepared for me. Help me to let go with lightness and gratitude instead of regret, with peace instead of fear, so that every step becomes a step of blessing. When I am weak, strengthen me. When I am confused, guide me. Loving Father, I humbly ask you to heal every hidden place within my soul, the wounds I have long kept concealed, the memories I thought could never fade away. Please wipe away every tear, soothe every pain, and lift me up with a whole heart and a joyful spirit that is ready to embrace the new things you have prepared for me. Do not allow anything from the past to hinder the joy and hope that lie ahead in the future you have destined for me. O Lord God, open my eyes to see every new door you are placing before me. Grant me the wisdom, patience, and trust to walk step by step, not rushing yet, not hesitating. Give me great faith to expect good things, so that even when I walk through deserts or valleys, I may still be certain that you go before me, guarding and preparing everything for me. Father, please guide and protect me on every path. Fill me with gratitude, hope, and a renewed spiritual authority, so that my life may become a living testimony of your love, your faithfulness, and your power. May each new day begin with praise, with steadfast trust, with eyes lifted to you, and with strong steps into the radiant future you have prepared for me. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, so that together we may build a strong community of faith.